My name is Stephen Malindra, and I do hope that you're having a wonderful time, whatever period that it is, especially as we come towards the Christmas period. I do hope that you all have a wonderful time during this period. Now, Africa Speaks of today, usually we have quite a lot, and we usually have a lot, especially in regards to Africa. But I want to start up with something that we need you to be aware of, and that is the Omega House. Omega House. Listen to this extremely carefully, because it's very important in a sense that when you know what Omega House is, there is a lot. It's on 74 West Green Road, in N15 5NS, just right by Uncle Joe's Bakery. That is Omega House, and this is what we do. If you want to order flyers, leaflets, posters, brochures, booklets, banners, business cards, letterheads, receipts and tickets, funeral and birthday invitations, you're welcome to see us. Photo printing, any size you want, Omega House has got it. Now, what else? We also print mugs, photo frames, bottle openers, key rings, handkerchiefs, mouse pads, beer glasses, pillowcases, t-shirts, cloaks, and many more others. That is if you're really, really keen on getting any of this. You get this at Omega House. Now, this is in North London, and the telephone numbers are 0780-262-7333. I repeat, 0780-262-7333 or 333. And this, the landline number is 0200, no, I think it's a land number, 0203, so 0203 581 8794. And of course, I repeat, 74 West Green Road, London, N15 5NS. Visit us, please, and let us know, solve your whatever problems you have. Right, what have you got in today's program? Now, Gambian President Adam Barrow won his second term in office after winning the elections by 53% almost 3 weeks ago. The elections held on the 4th of December this year was seen by many as a test of democracy not seen in this country for 22 years. Now, like in many African countries practicing democracy, that is, many African countries practicing democracy, there are disputes on what went wrong and candidates not accepting the results. Some are heading to the courts, while others are busy forming alliances for the next challenge, no doubt. Now the question is, what is the president's next challenge? What is President Barrow's next challenge? Can he deliver as he promised? What kind of president will Barrow be in his second term? These are some of the things that the country is going through. Just to continue, the country is going through an economical crisis with its debts rising and the tourism industry on its knees due to COVID-19. What good or bad news should Africa expect from the Gambia now that the elections are over? What news should we expect? The good news or the bad news? Now, with me in the studio to discuss the elections in the Gambia is Mr. Ebo Jawala, a senior lecturer, construction design and built environmental studies, New City College, Raynham Construction and Engineering Center, Harvard, Essex. He's also a Gambian political analyst. Welcome to the program.
Thank you, Mr. Steve.
Okay, now he won by 53% of the votes. Is this accepted by all Gambians? Or do we really see, how is he going to woo the others, the other percentage that didn't really support him? Because he's been in office for the last 5 years now, and this is his second term in office. There must be something he's doing right, and also maybe there must be something he's not doing right.
Yeah. Good evening, viewers. Thank you very much for this opportunity to talk about Gambia. As you said, we just recently concluded an election, presidential election. Although the election voting all votes has been casted, but the election is not complete because it's at a stage where it has gone to the courts.
Okay.
Not at all, with response to your questions, not at all. Not everybody agreed to the elections results that was pronounced by the IEC chairman Alaji Maman Njai on that fateful Sunday, which was the day after the elections. The vote has been casted. Yes, so not everyone was in line with it.
Okay.
For the simple fact that the opposition party, which is the United Democratic Party (UDP), the biggest opposition, obviously, has taken this action to
go to court,
and appeal the elections. In other words, to put a petition. Yeah. And that has stopped. In order to stop Barrow being sworn,
re-elected.
Sworn in January 19th. So it's in the court. The matter is in the courts. Yeah. And even today they had a sitting. So we don't know when it's going to be concluded. But
now the thing is, West African ECOWAS, the observer from ECOWAS, that's the Organization of Economical West African Countries, we said everything was okay. There wasn't no problem at all.
Not really. If I could get you right, on judging from what they said, there are some observations that they did, and there are some things that went right and some things that didn't went right. So what didn't went right was enormous as well. According to them, so there was a problem with what we call the transmission of the results from the polling stations,
from the polling stations
to the regional headquarters and from regional headquarters to the IEC office. Yeah. So there is a problem there, and that has raised concern about how the elections have been conducted, and also there is a concern about the size of the marbles in various polling stations, and that has been a problem as well. Okay. In some stations there were a shortage of marbles, and there were so many and different colors and different sizes. So they raised those concerns, and obviously when the results were announced, the UDP didn't agree with what they announced as the results. Yeah. So they took up the matter to the courts, and it's in the hands of the courts now.
Now the thing is, right from the beginning, before the elections, even before the election, there were so many people who were disqualified from standing for the elections, and most of these people, that included Maria Sacco, one of the only female candidates for, but according to the constitution, they were saying, they don't qualify because of certain things that were. But then the problem is, there's going to be a new constitution that will, these elections would have gone ahead with those people in regardless of what they are. This whole issue of disqualifying certain people from standing because of lack of this and that. Does that, every Gambian is entitled. It's like a constitutional right that every Gambian can stand to be president, But for the Electoral Commission to say, look, you don't have a good suit, or you don't have these qualifications, or we can't have you in. Isn't that some kind of if I didn't go to school, then there is a problem. Then I can't. If I don't have enough money, then I don't need to stand. There shouldn't be such conditions on elections, because it sort of pulls other people away.
Yeah, you're right, Steve. According to the IEC, we have set rules. Okay. For conducting elections in the Gambia, and that gives individual certain rights to contest. And this is all based on the 1997 Constitution.
Oh, right.
That's been formulated by Jammeh 22 years ago, and then he keeps on updating it just to suit him. Okay. Been run up to the 2016 elections. Jammeh raised the nomination fee for someone to become a president, 100,000.
Whoa, okay.
Okay, just to discourage other people from challenging him.
Standing,
from challenging him, so that he will eventually he will declare himself as unopposed. Okay, so we went with that sort of constitution, and then you find out that some of the political parties that amalgate together to form a coalition in 2016, which Barrow became the leader, head of the coalition, they couldn't sustain that amount of money in quarter and it becomes very expensive for them. So the coalition was formed in 2016. Barrow became the head, and then they came together, pulled weight together, and then were able to meet this amount in order to pay the deposit
for
presidential.
The presidential election.
That was 100,000 or so. So eventually the coalition won, decisively, and then not decisively, but at least Gambia election laws, according to his simple majority, if I win by one vote, is a win. So I mean, Jammeh lost the elections. Barrow came in.
He had refused
with the thing. So and again, with the hope that when this with Barrow's term in office as a coalition leader, he was tasked to make sure that the constitution is amended. The rules are changed that will favor everybody. And making sure that the playing field is level. And at the same time, be a judge for people who will be contesting rather than him being part of the show. He was going to be the referee. Overseeing the elections for this 2021 elections.
But he decided something else.
He decided that he would contest.
Could this thing about joining with Jamal's party, the alliance with the Patriotic Reform Reconstruction Party, couldn't this thing affect him in a leadership now? Because he's the president now, and he had gone with the other man. And then Jamal was saying he didn't know anything about the collusion. He didn't know anything. He said he did that behind my back. Now, as time goes by, Gambians might start saying, hey, hang on a minute, you collided with the other man. We hated the other man, and you collided with him. Couldn't this affect his presidency now?
It will affect it in the sense that he joined him with other people to fight.
Exactly.
Jammeh,
and
now
he's talking to him.
He's talking to Jammeh's faction. Jammeh's party is now divided into two. More or less, and then he's with one faction. Those people are even saying that they are still Jammeh is there. They're still behind Jammeh. But when the going get tough during the campaign, you see that the tone has changed from those people as well. So the Jammeh should be quiet.
It's like I think to a certain extent it's almost like a betrayal.
So the whole country now at the moment is divided. Very, very divided. From Jammeh's APRC to Barrow's NPP, as well as and the UDP in the frame did not support any of those. So UDP is it's very structured party, well capable of running ruling the country. Well, all of a sudden they all march together to fight UDP, so UDP doesn't have the chance
to come in. Well, these divisions, as I see them, they're there in Africa. There's a lot of division within the Africa. People go where they think this is the right place for us. People go where they are going to gain something, or they gain.
In the case of Gambia, it's not about where they think is the right place. It's where they think they have an opportunity. They have an opportunity to gain something out of the party that's ruling, especially the party that's in the incumbent. Because coming back to the 2016 coalition, I wasn't there, but we saw in blueprint, and when they were voting on all those things that they discussed, that Barrow was going to rule for 3 years, and then lay the foundation stone for changing the constitution, making sure we have the governance, everything in place. You know, the civil servants are all been structured. You know, we have discipline in the civil servants. We have rule of law. The constitution new constitution comes into place, and all those things. So he will be a custodian for all those things.
That's what he was supposed to be.
Supposed to do. But in the end, he couldn't achieve none of those things. And then after 3 years, he was challenged by some factions of this
that's when he formed a new party.
And then those people challenged him, and then eventually there was serious demonstration in the country. You know, it was chaotic anyway. Then being Gambian, we let the sleeping dog lie, and then said we were going to wait for him until he want to contest an election, then we'll vote him out. Then he also tie his waist very hard and making sure that he
of course he stays in power.
He fight. So he stood there, he continued, and in the end, instead of achieving all those things that had been
laid down,
he didn't achieve none of those. The constitution, the new constitution came into, was prepared. You know, in fact, the constitution committee has gone a great deal in going all over the world to talk to governments in diaspora, governments in the country, and all those things, and everybody brought in there. So they came up with a very good constitution that will meet the modern Gambia with regards to rule of law and with regards to how elections will be conducted and all those things. So, because there is a time limit that's been put there, and that constitution, that time limit does not seem to favor him, because it said that he being in the helm of power, that term is already counted. So if he comes to this one, it's the second time. That means this if he wins this third time, it's the second time. That's it. That's
it. He won't be coming back.
But then he's saying that this coming one
was his first
will
one.
be the first one.
So the next one is going to be the second one.
The next one will be second. That will be in 2026 or so. So that is why the problem is. So that didn't favor him. He decided to rally behind some of the MPs, the deputies in the House, to make sure they boot this out. So when it was booted out, and then at some point he realized that it's a big mistake, because that would be his legacy. So he turned to ECOWAS, and ECOWAS sent in the representative in Jonathan Goodluck, former president of Nigeria, and other people to mediate. So eventually, in mediation, he wanted to the government want to change all elements of it, and he said no. The opposition said no, we won't change.
We have already decided on this.
We have decided on this. This constitution is well documented, it's well rehearsed, went throughout the whole country. Every government is been approached to chip
They've given their opinion.
Everybody has got all opinions are there. So if you change, that means you are demonizing other elements of the population. So UDP stood firm. You know, and they said if it should come back to the House, nothing should change from it. So, and then that didn't go.
So that's where we are now. There is the Truth and Reconciliation Repatriation Commission. It has already given its reporting about the country, and Barrow was yet to release the findings of that. He let the elections run. He didn't want to release that. Now, some people may have taken part in the election, but they are mentioned in the Truth and Reconciliation, and then somewhere along the way they're probably going to be ministers and so on. Couldn't this thing affect his government? Because he delayed in releasing it, and he hasn't released it by now. So the hearing took place and was completed, and everything was given to him to release, and he hasn't. Now, there is a possibility that some of the people who participated in the elections and are given positions
will be ministers.
Already. And then they'll be. He has to get rid of them because they are mentioned. Why was he not releasing this even before? Then the Gambians would have.
Well, you're right in saying that, and I quite agree with you in that sense. Actually, the TRRC should have released their findings sometime by 6 months ago. And then, because obviously with the COVID and a lot of things happen. they couldn't. So they gave a deadline of September 30th.
Yeah.
They couldn't meet that deadline.
Yeah.
They gave another deadline for October, end of October.
Everything is pointing back at him because they would have released it.
So they couldn't do it.
They were not as independent as they should have been.
They didn't give that. They couldn't release the reports because according to them, reports were not ready. To the effect that one of the key council which filed had to come out from there. According to him, he was just there to ask questions and then put people in the framework. So his job is finished. According to him, he had to form became aspirant now in the presidential elections. Still now the results were the reports were not released. So the report were released just a few days before we cast our votes. So, but according to TRC, the president has got 30 days to go through this and make it available to the media, to the international community, and to the population. Okay, we are still within that 30 days now. We still hold tight onto it. No, we don't know what's going to happen.
I think with the 30 days will remain something he can remove from there. But within the 30 days, if there's something which is not right in there.
Well, I think at the moment there's too much load on his head now because this election has been disputed and it's been in the court as well. So yet still, I remember I heard from the justice minister saying that they will still go ahead to make it available to the population international community.
They will still make it available
within the 30 days. But we don't know. But having seen what has happened to the constitution, the new constitution, everybody feared that the same thing would happen. So that's why the victims, are in a state of worrying situation.
Nothing is going to be done.
Gambia might return to this country and nothing will happen since we have his people supporting Barrow, and then they might be in the helm of Barrow's administration from January when he's sworn in. So definitely, with that regard, they will step on it and making sure that nothing goes out. So that's why everyone is worried, and that makes the country a
bit unstable in a way.
Very unstable. I mean, security-wise, we are okay. But with regards to what's going on, families and people, having problems with one another, and all those things. The country is at the moment is very.
I need something on this one as well. The Gambia Economic Group from 4.5% this year. The critics here in London point to the rise in crime and electricity, and among others, COVID-19, of course, kept European tourists away, where the country gets quite a lot. The national parties have no policies regarding. There's a lot going on, which his party, at the moment, and as far as policies were concerned, there was very, very little. They were mentioned in the previous government, and so in the previous before the elections, in regards to what they were going to do in terms of tackling crime and youth unemployment and all the other things that have come up. And then again, he's the man who's re-elected again. So the question is, what is he going to do differently if he didn't tackle this from the previous, when he was president then? Or he's still president anyway, but if we didn't tackle that economy, the 4% growth is down, and then secondly, the youth unemployment and the crime, because the figures that were released show that
the figures with the economy is staggering. The economy is at standstill.
Is that standstill?
It is very bad at the moment. I'll give you some figures which I have here with regards to the debt index, Gambia.
And there is a huge IMF loan. There's a huge loan, which is also not in the country's advantage as well.
Since we came to independence 56 years, the amount of debt that we incur within these 5 years is phenomenal. It is phenomenal and it's worrying.
It is.
It is worrying. So I can give you some figures here. The GDP is running at minus.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, the Gambia is not alone. Most of African countries have got that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Although it is...
the annual growth rate is forecast at minus 0.2%.
Yeah.
That's the annual growth rate.
Yeah.
And that's staggering. That's very worrying.
Yeah.
The inflation rate is 7.34%.
Wow.
That's the inflation.
Yeah.
Okay, from the previous, and that means from last year. So it was very good from 2018, 17-18.
Then it went down completely.
When the leader of the United Democratic Party, Eugene Dabo, was the vice president, and also the finance minister was from UDP.
Yeah.
Things were going up. Things were were working very well, but now it's just going sky high. So what led to that, we all know anyway.
Yeah.
The government debts or the GDP is 83%.
Yeah.
And the government budget growth, is minus 3.1. That's how the budget growth is going on at the moment. So
it's almost like a car that's stuck in mud somewhere.
Yeah, the figures are staggering.
Yeah.
So when it comes to debts, we incur a lot of debts through Jammeh's time.
Yeah.
So when the coalition came, Barrow and his team newly in 2017, 18, they worked very hard to talk to the international donors to make sure we to relieve some of the debts for us. And that has done. And we incur a lot of money as well from them. So one of the biggest grant that was going to come was eventually suspended because Dabo and the other co-hosts were put out of the country of the government. So those loans never materialized. Otherwise, that would have been a lot. The Chinese incur a lot of debt from the Chinese.
I wanted to find out.
And that means they are doing whatever they want in the country.
Yeah.
So if you go to the seaside, okay, they are fishing anyhow they like. They are dumping waste anywhere.
I know.
So they're doing anything that they want in the country.
But so he had talked about this. He said he was going to solve this thing out.
He cannot solve it at the moment. He cannot solve it. Because the reason why he cannot solve it, he's a burden to them. He's owed them a lot.
Yeah.
You know, he's taking a lot. And the money that is being taken from grants or from loan, we don't actually see where it's gone to.
It goes into individual bank accounts.
That's the thing. That's what we are suspecting, and that might be the case. You know, so Gambia at the moment, for the next generation, if we don't have a debt relief from international communities, Gambia cannot sustain itself. We'll end up at the back of Senegal.
Now, what else? When you look at it, I mean, here in London, at the London Stock Exchange, I was speaking to one Gambian who was telling me that the country is struggling with the debt is one of the biggest things that is happening in the country. But another thing is also COVID-19 coming into the country, because there are very few tourists now visiting, because Gambia used to be a very good spot for tourists.
For tourism,
and that very little now is happening as far as that is concerned. And then obviously the economy is being handled badly. Instead of going for certain things which could be cash crops that could be sold, or things like that could bring in more money, I think what the president and other people who are advising him are doing is doing the opposite. Going in for food which is simply meant to be for, going in for things which are commercial that could bring money into the country, rather than going in for things which are simply for.
I will agree with that.
Yeah,
I will agree with that
for home use.
Yeah,
because if you're going to have something for home use, it's like, okay, planting cotton, planting something, or it's anything that is bringing in money that the country has to.
I will agree with that.
Instead of depending on aid.
In agriculture, that's why our economy depends on. Gambia exports only groundnuts and cotton, and maybe a few vegetables. Okay. Last year, going by last year, the groundnut traders, the farmers, they couldn't trade the groundnut in the country. They had to cross the border to Senegal to sell their
Senegal,
they sell their nuts at a better price. What's wrong with Gambia? in the time of President Jawara, we had what we call cooperative sectors. In every town hall, there are cooperative sectors. They were buying groundnut and exporting it. So we were even turning groundnut into oil, cooking oil and stuff like that, and making some soap out of it. But now all those things are gone. Why? Because of bad, poor leadership, poor management, giving the economy to the hands of people who have no interest for the government, for the country, but they are rather themselves on their private issues. That's what they are there for. So in the end, farmers are the people who suffer in the end.
So they decide to do, rather than have cash crops and have something else.
So so some farmers will go into Senegal, exchange their crops with something else, and then
come back home.
Come back, or they go to Senegal, cross the border, sell their crops, and even if they are caught, that means they are smuggling, and that's another issue. But then when they leave, the government will take their groundnuts. It takes them 6 months or 5 months or sometimes 3 months before they pay them back. And by the time the next rainy season has come, you know, these things, they recycle their crops and things like that. So what they will leave some to plant for the next year as well. So it becomes very, very difficult for them. So that is why the country is in this state
But the thing is, Barrow was here in the UK. He lived here, and he had an experience of having been in Europe and of having seen how the economies are run, especially the economies here in the UK. Where he worked, obviously, and we all know that having that knowledge is very, very helpful in terms of when you sit down and you start looking at what you can do and maybe the advisors you have. Now, there are two things here which are very difficult to take in. The first one is he probably get very poor advisors, or he's simply stubborn in the sense that saying, look, this is where I want the direction I want the country to go in. And he doesn't take advice anymore from the people who are trying to tell him, say, listen, this is what you need to do if you are to pull Gambia out of the economical crisis it is in. So either he's not listening, or I don't know.
Once again, you're quite right. He was here. He knows the situation. You know why we, for that matter, why some of us came here. You know, it came at the time, during Jammeh's time, it came at a point where if a family member doesn't have anybody in Europe or in diaspora, that family struggles a lot for basic living. You understand? So
what happened to Senegambia? When the two countries tried to make it work?
We'll come to that. We'll come to that.
Because that thing was really would have put Gambia somewhere beyond.
We'll come to that. We'll come to that. So this one, he was here as an economic migrant, like anybody else, like us. We all come to look for
work,
greener pasture and stuff like that. Make sure we help our people back home, you know, make life conditions better for them. So when he was here, he left in 2006. According to him, you know, at some point I even knew where he lives, you know, in Forest Gate, whatever. So not far from.
We could have come across him a couple of times without even knowing. Somebody told me I attended the party and he was there. But
so as you said, it's about poor leadership again. You bring people that's to surround him, who were poorly advising him. You know, so it's like when he left, when he first started, he came with a very good ambition. He's got very good foresight for the country. And that's why he was selected. But along the line, he missed his way.
No, I think you know, the missing of the way, because I was reading an article about him. The way he missed his way is that, you know, when you get people that have come with you, and those people can stand with you and say, hey, this is what you're doing is not right. Because one of the ladies, a Gambian lady who knew him from here and went back to the Gambia with him, is a very successful businesswoman. I'm trying to remember her name. But she was saying, look, he was listening to the advice of people
at the beginning.
But at the beginning. Now, midway through, he stopped listening. Now, when you say that there's something wrong there, you say, okay, and that's the end of it. He doesn't. And sometimes he even cuts you off. So he says, look, he stopped listening, and then he gets the people who are not who will tell him what he wants to hear. This is where maybe your voices have got to rise as Gambians.
Without naming names,
he
became someone who does not listen to person who will give him good advice.
Exactly.
So rather keep that person as an enemy. Just like what Jamie did in the beginning.
You
know, so he was just doing things. He was just, if you come and tell him this is how you can make money for yourself, or this is how you can make money for your business or whatever, he would rather listen to you than someone telling him this is how you can control the economy and this is how you can make the economy grow. And that is why he got rid of Usain Dabo and the UDP contingent in
Dabo, who was the vice president and foreign minister.
That is why he got rid of those people. Because he couldn't mess up in those whilst those people are there. So as soon as those people left, so there's a tendency that there's an opportunity for these other people to come in and then influence him. Whatever, by hook or by hook, they influenced him. They had a lot of say over him. And then eventually he decided to follow them, follow their way. And the government is now.
All I could say, it's an African disease anyway. It's a common African disease. I just have to read this again. By the way, if you just join us, I just want you to have this as an issue. Take it into your heart. It's something to do with the Omega House. Now it's based on 74 West Green Road, London, N15 5NS. And of course, you can order anything you want in terms of the printing. That is flyers, leaflets, posters, brochures, booklets, banners, business card, letterheads, receipts and tickets, funeral and birthday invitation cards, photo printing, and photo passports and whatever type of photos that you really want. And also if you want printing mugs, photo frames, bottle openers, key rings, handkerchiefs, mouth pads, beer glass, pillowcases, t-shirts, clocks, you name it, Omega House has it. And I repeat again, the address is 74 West Green Road, London, N15 5NS. And well, you can give us a call as well. 0780 2627 333. That is if you want to get in touch with us as far as this issue of printing is concerned. And also on 0203 581 8794. Right. We've discussed the president. We've discussed the elections. He's gone through. And we're looking at the future of the Gambia in the next 5 years. There is a population which is coming up, the youth population. Gambia is a very small country. The whole idea of Senegambia was to see that the expansion of the country will help in a sense that Gambia being small, if it becomes part of, if Senegal and Gambia become one country, then you are looking at a bigger prospects in terms of economy and so on and so forth. And obviously, the ECOWAS, Economical Community of West African States, is another example of what might help the Gambia. These are issues which the president and all the other candidates who stood for the elections didn't mention. Where do you see Gambia if it goes alone and these issues are not tackled within the unit with Senegal and the ECOWAS? If those countries, if those bodies don't come in, how is Gambia going to survive? Because if its growth is on negative, as it is, there's nothing, there's no growth. It's on negative. I mean, if you're negative, you're not going anywhere. So, wouldn't these be major ways in which the country can survive?
Well, it is difficult in the sense that our hope, the hope of many in the country, lies in the hands of the courts now, not in the hands of the not in the hands of the electorate now.
Okay.
So,
but it's very rare for courts to reverse elections.
It is very rare in Africa. It has happened at the
it has happened before.
So we hope that
it can be done.
Many people hope that the same thing will happen, and I also hope that the same thing will happen. It will reverse. But then, if it does not go on the way we we assume, we expected, or we're looking forward to, I mean, the Gambia will be in a dying state.
Yeah.
In the simple fact that there is no growth at all.
Of course, there isn't. There
is so much disgruntledness among youths. Than before, ever before. The people at the helm will continue to suckle the economy.
Of course.
And Barrow can't do anything about it. In fact, he put it more difficult for him by making so many alliances with lots of people who are angry, who are greedy. Not what I want to use the word greedy, but who are looking for their own interests rather than
the interest of the country.
For example, the APRC faction, who are following him, they are rather looking for their own interests than working for the country.
But
they're all saying that in terms of reconciliation, there's no reconciliation there.
No, it isn't there. But he did mention, he says that one of the main reasons why he's with the APRC is that because of the whole idea of bringing reconciliation and bringing Gambia back together, and of course Jamal's leadership and all that, and saying, look, we are all Gambians now. We got to be together, regardless of what happened in the past. So he's trying to put that as an issue. That is why mainly he talks to them, and that's what he wants Zambians to understand him.
Jammeh has more reconciled the country more than him.
Oh, really?
In the fact that, right now, Barrow is unfortunate, but the people behind him, he's a good man.
Yeah, he is.
He has got good intention for the country.
Yeah.
But the people behind him are just like hand screwing him.
Yeah.
You know, do this, and they can say anything, they can get away with it. They are now training in tribal lines against the biggest tribe in the country.
Okay.
Even though the country is for every Gambian, we have about nearly 12 tribes there.
Yeah.
So Mandinka, Fula, Wolof, Jola, Sarawule, Manjago, they are all equal in the eyes of every Gambian as far as we are concerned. But then if during the campaign he's allowing people on his platform, campaign trial platform, saying things about Mandinka, saying things about Dabo just simply because he's a Mandinka. Obviously any president will be from a tribe. No matter what. He himself is from a tribe. Although he's mixed. You hardly see any Gambian that is completely this because of the intermarriage, so which we enjoy or we adore for a long time. But then if these people are allowed to trend on that way, that brings lots of chaos and lots of problem within ourselves, and that is why he's going to find it difficult to rule.
Now, the question is, how is he going to, if he can't solve this? When you look at, I've looked at the candidates, and I could see that there was this lady, Marisok. She would have probably been, in my opinion anyway, as an outsider, maybe she would have tried, but you never know when somebody reaches office. People are different. The former vice, his other former vice president, Daho, is it? Dabo would have also been maybe a good president in a sense, because he had been in office for quite a long time, and he has served some of these people, and he's aware of what is going on. He's a very brilliant lawyer, so he would have been maybe somebody he could have used. But as you're saying, if there are changes to be there now, because remember, if the courts decide that he lost, and the other one comes in, then we go back. Unless we say, okay, let's repeat the elections.
Those are some of the possibilities. The election could be nullified, null and void, and that means the whole process of registration will have to be everything has to be done again. Everything has to start again, and that's going to take us to maybe March or May.
There's a cost behind it as well.
I know, but it still has to establish anyway. The other thing is the court could say we don't agree with what the IAC announced. So let's go through our own finding and tabulate the results as UDP has done. And then we go by that. And the other thing could be the fact that these or they could say Barrow has won.
Yeah.
Okay, these are the three possibilities that we highlighted, but highly likely the court will nullify the result.
No, it's highly unlikely.
It's highly, but then it depends on the facts that these people have presented.
Yeah.
The material that have presented in their courts in order to argue their case.
Yeah.
You know, and they have got 3 sittings now so far. Last week, when everything was taken there, and then Barrow's lawyers decided to say you cannot fight a sitting president in court.
Yeah.
And that was starts out this today.
Yeah.
You know, so the Chief Justice and the panel of judges, they are all QCs anyway.
Yeah.
So we expect them to deliver, and the whole world is watching them. You know, the whole world is following this keenly. Not only us here, but the whole world is watching this keenly. As far as I'm concerned, these are the 3 possibilities that could happen.
Now,
but if Barrow continues, the problem he is going to encounter is how can he satisfy all those factions that he has come to ally with them to in order to fight for these elections. It's going to be very, very tough for him. It's going to be very, very difficult. Already, we have heard that Jammeh's guards in Equatorial Guinea are preparing to come because there are people who have joined Barrow has fight their way for them.
Okay.
You understand? Okay. So if those people come in, who is next? Jammeh is going to come. So what's going to happen to the victims? Are they going to give in their rights? Are they going to be the victimization? Is it going to stand? Or is it going? Will they be sufficiently enumerated or repatriated? You know, as we expected. So these are some of the things that we are talking about. Jammeh's people fighting for Jammeh in Barrow's camp are looking forward to Jammeh to return as soon as possible. Okay? Don't be surprised if one of them become a foreign minister. He will just go and jack Jammeh and bring him back. Nobody knows. But that will bring a big problem in the country.
Now we're coming towards the end of the program, and I wanted to find out if you're made the president of the Gambia now, you yourself, if you're made the president of the Gambia, what do you start with? Because the country there's a lot of mess left and right. Is there something particularly that you might look at? Because if the president or anybody listening to watching this program, if there is anything at all somewhere along there, what would you do to make sure that Gambia stays as Gambia? Because I can look at a chaos coming ahead.
What I will do, anyway, we are not new to democracy anyway. Our former president Jawara was champion of democracy in Africa. We all know about that. So we are not short in that. Okay, so the best thing for now is reconcile the people and stop them from turning the country into tribal lines.
Okay.
And that is what the president is entertaining now.
Barrow's doing,
Okay. The other thing is the youth population forms the majority in the country.
Okay.
And there's nothing for them. I will tell you, there is no a designated park.
Youth and women.
Women and youth
are not mentioned anywhere within.
No, they are mentioned in the UDP manifesto. UDP has come up with a 5-point agenda.
Okay.
That they will look after in the first 5 years. As a key priority. And youth, women, agriculture, education, health sector are all part of it. Look at the example in health sector now. It's at a desire stage. Very, very terrible.
It's a disaster.
Very, very bad disaster.
Yeah.
People are dying at a point of birth, giving delivery. And a lot of things again. There's no medicine. You go to the hospital, you are ill, almost dying. They prescribe to you, if you cannot buy this medicine from so
that's the end
pharmacy,
of it. That's the end.
You are finished.
That's the end. I mean, it's an African story, and I can understand that with the Gambia, and I can understand that with all the other countries.
But there's a lot of hope. There's a lot of hope there. There's a lot of hope because once rule of law is established, and the government is able to at least lay a hand on the economy, and they help the women and the youth. And making sure the agriculture, the farmers are looked after. And making sure that the communication between towns and villages is smooth.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Gambia will go a long way.
If the food structure is dealt with, for example,
because the price of living is too high at the moment, very high.
Okay.
Average Gambian cannot have daily bread now at what we knew before. Now everything is expensive, and you don't even know how people manage.
It's a situation which I think most African countries have gone through, but somewhere along the way, people have always found, people are resilient. They will always find a way. And,
they will always find.
I'm 100%
and that's what happened to Gambia. Gambia is developed. Especially infrastructure development in Gambia is due to people who fought for themselves.
We'll probably discuss Senegambia at some point, because the Senegambia issue would have put Gambia on equal terms with Senegal and other African countries. But then it seems that Senegambia issue was not an issue that anybody was to tackle.
We are all Gambia and Senegal. We are all one family.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, bound by a boundary between us. Between us.
Yeah.
But we are all one.
Yeah.
Same family, same language, same tribe.
Why don't you become one then?
Okay, we couldn't become one because of the emancipation and repatriation of Africa by the Western powers. You know what I mean?
I understand.
You remember this fumbling and partition of Africa?
Yeah, but the two countries long time ago had agreed on this policy.
It has happened.
Something went wrong and it didn't work.
What went wrong was the terms of leadership.
Yeah. Okay.
Because when it first started, Senegal was the head of the Senegambia, president of Senegambia, it's Abdou Diouf.
Yeah.
So when time for Jawara comes in, Senegal said, no, why should we have a small country because the president
they just wanted to
Senegambia.
Okay.
So that's why the confusion came about, and also they wanted to seize opportunity of some of our stuff, which we couldn't. And now we have oil in between us now, and majority of it's in Gambia, according to the physical studies, whatever. So there will be another. Senegal has started to mine those oil. And Gambia has started somehow. Gambia, we don't even know whether they have started or not. All we can hear is companies that are drilling, and the money, we don't know where it's money.
According to the structures, anyway, that's something I will discuss probably in one of the other programs. Is that the oil is actually caught on the two sides of the countries, two countries. Oil is found, it's parallel. So
the offshore oil,
it's going to be
the offshore oil, yes.
Yeah, so
some part of it's in Senegal, some part of it's in Gambia.
Yeah,
but the majority, according to the studies, is in the Gambian side. But Senegal's already gone ahead to do this.
I hope nothing comes out of that like a war or something like that.
No, it would be the same as Nigeria and Cameroon. You know what I mean? Independence. It's going to be almost the same.
It will be the same story because it affected that. Right. I just want to say thank you very much for coming to the program.
Thank you very much.
And telling us about the elections. And I do hope that things work out with the Gambia as we go along. I do hope that we'll be together again next week for another edition of Africa Speaks. And obviously, the year is coming to an end, and I look forward to the new year. I hope to see you guys in the new year. Thank you very much for viewing us, and may God bless you all.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.